Hare Krishna. We can do some kirtan just for 2-3 minutes. Jayo Radha Kunja Vihari Jaya Bhujana Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bhajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivarajacharya Ashtottara Sat Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Gauri Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Welcome everyone. Today is the last session for the Isopanisad. So we'll do a quick recap of yesterday. Did everyone try to do their assignment, do their homework, selecting their favorite prayer and also writing down a prayer, composing a prayer? Yeah?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so we'll discuss that in a minute. Right. So we did the Sambhuti and Asambhuti already, right? Okay, so this is the appeal. Mantra 15 is an appeal and 16 is begging for Lord's mercy. In just what did we hear from Isopanisad? Now Jiva is making a prayer to remove, asking the Lord to remove his effulgence that is covering the Supreme Lord. And this effulgence is nothing but the Brahmajyoti, which is coming from Krishna himself. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 14:27 that he's the basis of the impersonal Brahman. And the characteristics of this impersonal Brahman is it's immortal, imperishable, eternal, and by constitutional position of the impersonal Brahman, it's ultimate happiness. Now, Lord cannot be conceived, through in the material understanding. He can be known by only his mercy. So we see the mood of the Jiva here. So he's not demanding, but he's actually requesting the Lord to remove the effulgence. And Krishna, how he's the ultimate concept of the absolute truth, Matta Parataram Nanyat. So Krishna is the source of Brahma Jyoti as well as the all-pervading Paramatma. And Krishna is always Anandamaya Vyasyat. And because he is performing the many pastimes, which is giving pleasure to his devotees. And he also performs these pastimes in the earthly planets also, that to attract the dry speculators towards him. And by his Purusha avatars, he maintains the entire material cosmos. What are the three Purusha avatars? Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So Karnodakshaya Vishnu is the Vishnu who is lying on the causal ocean, and from him, through his breathing, millions of universes are coming out. And Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is the Vishnu is entering into each individual universe and then taking care of it. So he's the super soul of the entire one material universe. Now, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, he is present in every atom and in every living entity's heart. Now, these are the partial and complete realizations of the Lord. There is Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, and Bhagavan realization. Now, in Brahman realization, one doesn't know the knowledge about Lord's potencies. They just understand the Sat feature, eternity feature. So Brahman is eternally existing. So they only understand that part. As they move to the Paramatma realization, they realize the Lord's material potencies. What do you mean by Lord's material potencies? That how the Lord is pervading in the entire material cosmos and how he's guiding, as a Paramatma. But they don't understand the spiritual potencies. That means that they don't understand the special features of Krishna existing as Bhagavan. So in Bhagavan realization, it's the complete realization of Krishna in full potency. But someone can understand only when the Brahma Jyoti, the covering, is being removed. And who can remove that covering? The Lord himself, isn't it? Only the Lord can remove the covering. Now, mantra 16 is about begging for Lord's mercy. Then we discussed about the word Bhagavan. Jiva Goswami was describing in Bhagavad Sandarbha. Yeah. So Bhagavan means he has infinite knowledge, potency, energy, opulence, strength, and influence without any material contamination. Then he further divides what is Bha means Ga and Va. Bha means guardian or one who fully maintains. Ga means he's the guide, leader, or creator. And Van means every living being is in him and he lives in every being. So how is he? He's a guide. He guides the living entities to progress towards the devotional service. And how is he a leader? Because he rewards the results of the bhakti by giving himself to them. He's not holding back. Now, then merciful. Devotees can see Krishna face to face by his causeless mercy. And finally, he leads them to come to the Goloka Vrindavan, the ultimate spiritual planet. And how is he a creator? Apart from creating a material universes, he also gives us these necessary qualifications to come to him. You remember that particular shloka in Bhagavad Gita? Whatever one lacks, he will award them, and whatever they have, he will preserve that. And he's also the original cause of all causes. But there is no cause for him. Anadir Adir Govinda. And then he's the enjoyer. He enjoys his own self by manifesting his own internal potency. And for his external potency, to maintain, to create, to maintain, and to distract, he sends Purusha avatars and other incarnations. He's not personally, doing. And how is he a controller? By his Paramatma feature. He controls everything. From starting from the Karnodakshaya Vishnu to Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. That means that everything is under his control. Now, Prabhupada gives an example of the sun. Now, sun is like Krishna. Now, sun rays are like jivas. Now, on the sun planet, there exists the sun god, right? So, Krishna is also there. The jivas are also connected to Krishna. But Krishna is also present in the Goloka Vrindavan. So simultaneously, he's with them and he also exists. And this is the full understanding that he's always present in the Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world. Now, then we were talking about prayers, right? So anyone wants to share what is their favorite prayer? And did you compose a prayer? Anyone can start. We have seen importance of prayers, right? In the from Nectar of Devotion and from the Gajendra's mood. And there are two kinds of prayers, reciting scriptural stotras and expressing our own mind and words. Vaibhavi Mataji, you want to share?
How did you try writing
Okay.
something?
First, can you tell
Not
me what is your favorite prayer?
so good, but I can share.
Sorry?
My favorite prayer, right?
Yeah, what is your
My favorite prayer is one is of Prahlad Maharaj, and the of course yes Gajendra, because his cry for help was my favorite prayer so far, because we all are crying for help, because we all are somewhere dealing with the illusory energy, and we want to get out of the clutches of that illusory energy. So that attracts me a lot. And my poem that I have composed, it's also somewhat relatable to that only.
You want to read out?
Yes.
It will inspire us to write a prayer.
I can try, Mataji. I don't know how. It's in Hindi. I hope that works, right?
Yeah, I can understand Hindi. I can't read much, but I
Hare
can.
Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
audible?
Yes, you are audible.
सुंदर अलौकिक छवि पर मनमोहन मैं मन हार गई, मोर मुकुट मकराकट कुंडल, मधुर तेरी मुस्कान, मेरा सब कुछ तुझको अर्पण, सुनकर तेरी मुरली की तान। मैं अक्षम तू सक्षम स्वामी, मुझको हर पल थामा तुमने। नाम तेरा जपने में सुस्ती मुझको आती है, तुम फिर भी दयालु स्वामी। मैं कृपण तुम करुणा के सागर, छत्र में हरदम रखना अपने, कभी ना करना साधु संग से वंचित, मुझको करती हूँ मैं बारंबार विनती तुमको। एंड द लास्ट वन इज मैं अबोध निर्गुण स्वामी, तुम गुणों के सार हो, मैं त्रुटियों की खान प्रभु, तुम देख कर देना अनजान प्रभु। मुझ नादान को इस माया के पाश में फंसने ना देना, करती हूँ निवेदन हर शाम प्रभु। हरे कृष्ण।
Very good. That's really amazing, actually. Yeah, so beautiful prayer. One of the 26 qualities of devotee is being a kavi, poet. So beautiful, Mataji. Thank you for expressing. Bhakti Dam, His Holiness Bhakti Damodar Maharaj, he always insists his disciples and any devotees, who come to him to write, personal letter to Radha and Krishna during Janmashtami and Radhashtami to express, our heart. Because unless and until we express, we are so much externally based. Such a beautiful prayer. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Madhji, for giving us the opportunity to express our uh, words which we are incapable of writing for Lord, because He is so glorious. So thank you for giving the opportunity.
I'm not the one. You gave us the opportunity to be inspired. Thank you. Karunamai Mataji, your hand was up. The next brave one.
Yes, Natalie, I've also writing. Firstly, I will tell what is my favorite prayer. It is Brahma Sahita because it contains the very the qualities of the Supreme Lord and what he do, and uh, what is his special world and everything, all the knowledge. That's why I like Brahma Sahita. And I have also wrote a poem. Um,
Yes,
हे
please.
कृष्ण हे कृष्ण कितना मनमोहक रूप तुम्हारा, जो भी देखे उसे हमेशा लगे बहुत प्यारा। हे सर्व आकर्षक श्री भगवान, कृपया मेरा प्रणाम स्वीकार करें। हे कृष्ण, इस भव सागर से तुमने मुझे उबारा, एक प्रामाणिक गुरु की कृपा देकर तुमने दिया मुझे सहारा। हे हे कृपालु श्री भगवान, कृपया मेरा धन्यवाद स्वीकार करें। हे कृष्ण, कभी ना करना मुझे शुद्ध भक्तों के संग से वंचित, जिनके हृदय में तुम्हारे लिए है शुद्ध प्रेम संचित। हे कल्प वृक्ष के समान श्री भगवान, मेरी ये विनती स्वीकार करें। आलस्य, निद्रा, वैष्णव अपराध और काम वासना जैसी माया देवी की चाल में इतनी कृपा के बाद भी मैं मूर्ख फंस जाती हूँ भौतिक इच्छाओं के जाल में। हे क्षमाशील श्री भगवान, मेरी क्षमा स्वीकार करें। Thank you.
Amazing. So beautiful. Yeah. There's so many kavis in the group. So good. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your hearts. Jyoti Mataji. Today, Vaishnavas are a little behind. All the Vaishnavis are on they're very enthusiastic. Nice. Jyoti Mataji.
Mataji. I just I don't know like favorite prayer because I've not read many prayers, so I don't know. I can tell which is my favorite.
It could be even Tulsi Arati, Guru Vashtakam, those are also prayers. So, Nashinga Arati, Gaura Arati.
I like Guru Ashtakam. I like it very much because that is I feel like how we express our gratitude to our Guru,
Yeah.
which we can.
And you see how Srila Prabhupada, yesterday I was thinking like how Srila Prabhupada organized in such a way that, every component that what he is describing in Nectar of Devotion is already present in our life. It's just we have to realize it, right? Even we understand, we don't understand, we get the benefit of reciting those prayers. Yeah. Yes, Jyoti Mataji.
I've just written few lines in English only. I just like in simple words I written like, "Oh Krishna, thanks for letting me know about you being the supreme personality of Godhead. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to understand your blissful transcendental qualities and pastimes. I request you to please allow me and empower me to serve you in the way which pleases you. Please forgive me for my lackings and please do correct me."
Hi, thank you. It also develops that personal relationship with the Lord, you see? Like the more we connect to Him as a person, we feel connected back. Yes, very nice. Thank you. Krishna Priya Mataji.
Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
My favorite one is Guru Ashtakam only. And when I read Gajendra Ashtakam, it was also like it has a tinge of everything, Lord's potencies, qualities, and for he's asking for his mercy. I have read few lines.
Please.
O Krishna, remove the golden veil of illusion that covers the truth and keeps me in ignorance. My vision is clouded by the four defects. I make mistakes, I am easily deceived, I have imperfect senses, and I am prone to illusion. Free me from these faults and let me see as you are.
Shy, very nice. Thank you for bringing Isopanisad into your personal prayers, reminding ourselves about the four defects. Very nice. Thank you. Anyone else wants to share? Anyone else? Yes, Shubham Prabhu.
Mataji, one of my favorite prayers would be of Kunti Marani, and like it was like Namo Pankaj Nabhaya, Namo Pankaj Maline, Namo Pankaj Netraya, Namaste Pankaj Angre. Like how beautiful is Lord actually? How is Kunti Marani is describing how Lord is so much beautiful. And my prayer is also like somewhat related. Uh, it is like, oh Sham Sundar, how did I forgot your lotus like eyes and came to this material world? Oh Satya Sankalpa, just just like you delivered your devotees, please be merciful on me and deliver me in this lifetime.
Right. So beautiful. Maybe the Jiva in the Isopanisad, when he hears your prayer, he will be thinking that I should go to Goloka Vrindavan, you know, not just to any, just to spiritual planets, but to Goloka Vrindavan. Very nice. Thank you. Anyone else wants to try? No one else? So we see the power of the prayers. It actually brings a lot of personalism to us. And also we go deep. We reflect our relationship with the Lord. And also we are, we're making an acknowledgement of Lord's potencies, right? And it's such a beautiful meditation. And Akrura is the perfection of the Vandana. When we pray to these personalities also, they will also empower us. This is another way, to go deep. Once I was asking His Grace Agnideva Prabhu, when you're singing bhajans, I'm not a very musical person. So how will I get into this mood of singing these bhajans? Then he told me, these bhajans are non-different from the Vedas. The bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what Prabhupada sang, and many, many Vaishnavacharyas. Whatever they sang, he said these are all non-different from the Vedas. Even though we are not, we don't know all the 4 Vedas and all the shlokas, if we know some of these bhajans and if we can meditate those bhajans, we can also imbibe the mood of these great Vaishnavas. Yeah, and also Prabhupada wanted us to write our realizations down, and this is a very nice way to put down our realization in form of prayers to the Lord. Yeah. So today we will continue with verses 17. We started actually 17, isn't it? Just give me a second. Right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyeva cha. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So Jyoti Mataji, you had your hand raised.
Sorry, Mataji, by mistake.
Oh, okay. So everyone can see the mantra 17, right? So mantra 17 and 18, Prabhupada discusses a lot about in the purport about, how we are giving up the body, and giving up this gross material body is actually changing of address. Baladev Vidyabhushan here particularly says that the jiva here is praying to the Lord that not only you burn my body, temporary body to ashes, but also my subtle body. You let it be merged into Mahatattva, so that I don't carry any gross body or subtle body, any kind of material body. And then I actually come to your lotus feet. And he's also saying, he's using the word krato. Krato also refers to the mind, because he's preaching to the mind that, you don't remember anything else. You just remember only Krishna. And he's also requesting Krishna to remember his services. Now, Prabhupada talks about, like as at the time of death, the whatever we desire, that is what will be given to us. Then Prabhupada is giving how one gets a body of a hog or a, tiger, and how someone gets a human body. So it is all dependent upon our desires. What is our last minute thoughts? And here he writes, in the material world, material nature displays wonderful workmanship by creating varieties of bodies for the living beings according to the propensities for sense gratification. The living entity who wants to taste stool is given a material body that is quite suitable for eating stool, that of a hog. Similarly, one who wants to eat the flesh and the blood of other animals may be given a tiger's body equipped with suitable teeth and claws. But a human being is not meant for eating flesh, nor he does have any desire to taste stool, even in the most aboriginal state. Human teeth are so made that they can chew and cut fruits and vegetables, although there are two canine teeth, so that the primitive humans can eat flesh if they desire so. So Prabhupada is saying that, we didn't get by chance the material body, but this is because of the propensity. Yes, Mataji. Just can you give me a second? Sorry. Yes, Mataji. Mataji, your hand is raised.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, I have question regarding this. We have two canine teeth. All right, like this is written in this book. So my question is that if we are forbidden for eating meat, why Krishna has given us this teeth? If why to put these teeth to have desire of eating flesh? That should not be required if we are vegetarian and pure sattvic.
But we see that there are different people in, people are always in three modes of material nature, right? Under the influence. The people in goodness, the people in passion, and people in, in ignorance. And then we see even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was not talking about foods in goodness, but he also mentioned foods in ignorance and passion. Because he knows that, when there is a mix of these modes, that modes are influencing. And you either can go up or down. That influence is always there. Now, how do you make your choice right? When you have knowledge, right? When you have training and education, you will make your choices right. When you don't have these ones, we can't make the right choices. And also, Kshatriyas are allowed to eat meat. They do hunting and they are allowed to eat meat. But Brahmanas are not allowed, Vaishyas are not allowed. But then again, Sudras, they are into intoxication and they eat meat.
So Mataji, Kshatriyas will not be incurring sin if they eat meat.
No, I think if they're Aryans, they usually don't eat meats, but they're Rakshasas, like Rakshasa Kshatriyas, they eat meat.
I was thinking if there would be no meat eating teeth, then there will be no flesh eating. Then again in my mind came that Krishna has given free will in that too.
Yeah.
Use free will in there.
Yeah, Krishna
So,
gave free will at
that's why
every.
confirming.
Sorry?
I
What?
was just confirming these things that was already in my mind. Okay, just according to fulfill the desire of a human being, like it as it is written here.
Yeah. You remember this pastime of this Rakshasa, no, this demon who kidnaps Pradyumna? And then what is his name? And in his kitchen, they were cutting the fish, right? And when the fish was cut, the Pradyumna was there. You remember? I don't remember. Someone kidnapped Pradyumna and they threw Pradyumna into the ocean and the fish swallowed. And then the fish was brought to king's palace and the cook cut the fish and then there was the Pradyumna. So there are people who will always be inclined to these kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah. Then Prabhupada goes and explains that the cycle of evolution, how the jiva changes the bodies from aquatics to vegetable to worm to bird, animal, and human being. Now, how there is a change of the bodies? This change of the bodies is based on evolution of the consciousness. It is not based on evolution of the bodies, right? Now, Darwin, what did he do? What was his observation? He saw some animals in the water and he saw some animals on the earth and he saw some animals in between. Then he thought that, the organism is evolving. But he doesn't understand Brahma had a blueprint of 8.4 million species, right? Whenever the jiva is desiring in a certain way under the influence of the Prakriti, and his own desires and his own karma, he will be getting that particular body. Right? So, and here Prabhupada also says that how one usually, this is according to the Ashtanga Yoga, one should give up the material body which will turn into ashes and allow the air of life to merge into eternal reservoir of air. The living beings' activities are performed within the body through the movements of different kinds of air, known in the summary prana vayu. There are 10 different kinds of airs. Do you know that? The air, apana, sorry, I forgot all the names, but there is air to help in the child's birth. The burps that you get, that is one kind of air. The bloating, that is one kind of air. So there are 5 major airs and 5 minor airs. This is all constituting to the prana. So what does a yogi do? As you know, there are different chakras in the body, right? These are energy points. Now the yogi, he tries to stop the Muladhara chakra, which is situated at the bottom with his heel. And he tries to raise this air from one chakra to another chakra. And finally, he wants to shoot out, like allow it to go through the Brahmarandra. When the soul leaves from the Brahmarandra, he don't return back to the material world. They will directly go to the spiritual world. Right? This is a Vedic mechanism. But for the devotees, it really doesn't matter. Because, they remember Krishna and they go to Krishna. But the yogi, he has to be so careful. Now, he has to be so mechanistically, he has to be so alert. I should make sure that my soul is not going from down, but it's going from the up. Then Prabhupada talks about, leaving the body. And then best intelligent way is to one who actually takes shelter of Krishna. Here Prabhupada says, as we learn from the previous mantra, the Brahmajyoti emanating from the transcendental body of the, of the Lord is full of spiritual sparks that are living individual entities with full sense of existence. Shubham Prabhu, yes, please.
Mataji, like as we discussed, like there are 84 million species, and every living entity has to pass through all the species to get to human birth. But we see also that some of the species, they have extincted. They're extinct now. Like we see dodo, dinosaurs, or maybe some other marine creatures that they are extinct now. So how do we understand, like, are these species now gone and like the soul is like not getting to 84 million?
But there are
some
many more
species
species which we haven't even discovered. You know, there are many species which we haven't even discovered. Like, for example, when the Shastra says that there are 400 species of human beings, do we see 400 species of human beings? No. But I think with, you know, like every age has its effect on them as well. I don't know about how much to take to the dinosaurs, because we don't know where it is described in the Shastras, unless it's given in the Hollywood movies as a Jurassic Park. Maybe they do exist. I don't know about it. I wouldn't give a comment on it. They might or they might not. But there is, you know, Prabhupada talks about there are eagles which actually eat elephants. You know, I think this is coming in the Canto 5. This is very, you know, mysterious for us to understand. Like, do really such big eagles exist to eat an elephant? Right? So, I don't know why certain species are there or not, but something I will be relating is you know, when Revati's father, he went to Brahmadev to find a suitable groom for Revati, right? So Brahmaji was in a musical consort. So he was waiting for a few seconds, few minutes actually, for Brahma to finish his musical concert. And Brahma sees Revati's father and he asks, what purpose did you come? He says that I'm here to find a nice groom for my daughter. In the last few minutes, the time you spent here, their kingdoms, you know, many dynasties have gone by. So we don't find a suitable groom. So the father was disappointed. He says that, no, but there is Balaram. You go to Balaram. Balaram is a suitable husband for Revati. So Maharaj Revata, he comes with Revati and he offers Balaram, the Revati to Balaram. Then what does Balaram do? Actually, Revati is very tall. He takes his plow and he shrinks her, right? So we see that, you know, there is an influence of the time, and that also brings changes. Like even in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, when the sages came together and they were talking about, you know, in the Kali Yuga, all these kind of misguided, you know, people are very cruel, people are very dishonest, and they will be eating cows. It's like such a big shock for them. How can people exist like that? But for us, it's a norm. It's a normal thing. There is slaughterhouses. There is meat. There is wine shops. Right? So I think it's also the influence of the time that brings some living entity into existence and some not. We can also see that, you know, during when the Pandavas were doing yajnas, there's so many celestial beings, the demigods, they used to come and participate, right? And Arjuna used to go to the other planets very easily. But now such a facility is stopped. So I think this is one of the rules. But the more answer I think we can get it from a book called Rethinking Darwin. This is a very nice book written by so senior Vaishnava in our ISKCON. Did anyone read this book? Thinking Darwin.
Mataji, can we understand this like it is like the 84 million species, they are divided into the 14 planetary systems also. Maybe some species are only exist in Satyalok, not in Bhulok, and some might be existing in Sutal Patal only.
Yes. Yeah, there is a book called Rethinking Darwin. That's also a very nice book. I forgot the name of the Vaishnava, but he says that Lev A. Jensen, but this is actually a Vaishnava way of thinking. You know, this is a very nice book. If you get a chance, you can read that. Yeah, that's a very nice thing. Like if you go to the Sutala and then Tala, like the lower planetary systems, you see there is no electricity, but some of the planets are lightened up just by the jewels on the heads of the serpents. But we don't see something that on the Earth. So maybe still the dinosaur exists, but maybe somewhere else. Yeah. So continuing. Yeah. Here Prabhupada says, Jyoti Mataji, yes.
I just wanted to add one point in this. Like, I don't know exactly, but maybe like since like some species are getting extinct, but like some species are getting mutated and new species are getting like forming. Like I read in how due to the global warming, the glacials in the Himalayas, they're melting away, and some viruses are getting founded which are there some 4,000 years old, and so much old viruses which scientists never knew of. So like might be a new one will be getting mutated, and like it was heuristic.
As you were saying, I just got a thought, that made me laugh. Sorry, not for your comment. I was thinking that, maybe dinosaurs were extinct because they are more afraid of us. The destruction that we create is more than what the destruction they do. So maybe they are afraid and they're hiding somewhere. Maybe. Anyways. Yeah, that's so true. There's so many things that have been still discovered as we move into the, in discovering. So here, continue. The desire for lordship is the material disease of the living being. Under the spell of the sense enjoyment, he transmigrates through the various bodies manifested in material world. Becoming one with Brahmajyoti does not represent mature knowledge. Only by surrendering onto the Lord completely and developing one's sense of spiritual service does one reach the highest perfectional stage. So again, Prabhupada is saying that, someone just going into Brahmajyoti is not the perfection. The perfection is one engages in devotional service. Now, what is the consciousness of a materialist and a devotee? A materialist is, at the time of death, it's like a rewind button. I made a PPT. I can show that in the PPT. It's like a rewind, like, he's reminded about everything that he has done, all the heinous acts. And consequently, he gets a body according to it. His thought process is not controlled. But for a devotee, he remembers Krishna by constant contact with his personal feature through the 9 processes of bhakti. Now, yesterday we were discussing there are 9 processes of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Achanam, Vandam, Sakhyam, Dasyam, and Atmanivedanam. And there is an exemplary devotee who has perfected one of these processes, right? So with this Jiva's prayer, what are some of the intentions that we can learn and apply in our life? One is to transcend the body and the material world, and we want to enter into the spiritual kingdom. Second, we can humbly plead to the Lord, remind the Lord of our sincere services and sacrifices. Although if you don't also, Krishna remembers. But the most important is the Jiva's conviction that how he is the spiritual entity, right? And understanding that only Lord is his true well-wisher and he wants to return back to Godhead. Now, this also helps us to release us from the impersonal misconceptions and put us in touch back with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are some of the things that we can learn from this Jiva. And as you go, Prabhupada talks about, how there are some obstacles for the Jivas. What are some of the obstacles? Getting into vikarmic activities. I didn't write it. Okay. Vikarmic activities. But even Krishna says in 9:34, right? That apichesu duracharu. Even if someone committed the most abominable action, but if he comes back and practices devotional service with determination, he will be rectified. Now, what is our, how does one receive protection? We receive protection by taking full shelter of the Lord. And we will be directed. And in our life also, there are two mediums that how we are getting directions. One is by Sadhu Guru Shastra. Second is by Krishna himself within us, the Dadami Buddhi Yogantva. The super soul, he gives that intelligence and inspirations to move forward in our Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada writes, one should mold one's life to engage in devotional practice without wasting a second. Otherwise, one cannot pray to Krishna at the time of death, when the body is dislocated. So we have to mold our life in such a way that, we are constantly in touch with the devotional service. And for that, surrender and prayers are very, very helpful because they attract the causeless mercy of the Lord. And these are the means of path of self-realization. So that is in 17. Going back to 18. Are there any questions? Pretty much the rest of the purport is very straightforward. Are there any questions? Krishna Priya Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
I think this particular thing, the Krishna has said that in 9.34, I think such things are misused by so many people. They think we will keep on doing wrong things, and God, since we are in practice, spiritual practice, and God will deliver us, there's no problem. But they don't think that they are hurting others also. So what Krishna thinks about that?
Yeah, actually, flexibility rules the universe. You know this law? We have to be flexible with everyone, but we have to be strict with ourselves. Then we can preach better. First of all, this is not the verse to this is not the verse to have a license to commit mistakes or to violate our rules, for regulative principles. Okay. This is talking about accidental fall downs. Why does accidental fall downs happen? Because although they are open to Krishna consciousness, they started their devotional practices. But as we know, the effects of the lust, Krishna explains in the end of the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the strategic places, like the points, where all it is, in the senses, in the intelligence, and in the mind. So the lust is always there, right? So, and you remember in the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, this is like a force. Arjuna says, even someone wants to be good, but they're pushed, like someone is pushing from behind into sinful actions. What is that force? Then Krishna says, this is nothing but the lust. So lust is a big problem, right? That's why we need to have mentors. Always we have to be in touch with them so that, we have that counseling system. We should have friends in Krishna consciousness whom we can reveal our hearts, whom we can reveal our weaknesses without any hesitation. Because we may think that, the other devotee has fallen, but, we are in the same maybe we can be in the same situation, ready to fall down. You're right.
Because it is not in this world. There are so many in Bhagavad Gita. Because God is so merciful. He's saying, if you do even sir, offer me a glass of water, I'm there always for you. But I think there should be aware caption behind such statements.
No,
Because
but
people should think twice, because they should not think we are into practice for so many years, so we have the license. So they, if you say like this is mentioned, so they know we are doing bhakti. So with time, this particular mistake will be sorted. But what about the other person who has been hurt by the uh, misdeed of the person, so-called person who is so much showing off that we are doing bhakti?
see, fall down doesn't happen over a night, right? Fall down doesn't happen over a night. It is a process that builds up. You remember 262 and 63 Bhagavad Gita? First, someone is contemplating, then there is attachment. When the attachment is becoming severe, it becomes lust, then anger, then bewilderment of memory, then intelligence is lost down, then falls down. So it could happen over weeks, over months, over years. So never at the point we should think that, I am a very established devotee. We should always seek and see the need that we should be always protected by the Sadhu Guru Shastra. And what Krishna is talking about in 934 is accidental fall downs. It is not that they pre-contemplated. Some maybe not just pre-contemplated. It's just that because of their previous habits, they're forced to push in. But if Krishna is ready to give a chance, who are we to deny it? But what is the quality, like what is the qualification of to accept such a person? He becomes very strong in executing his devotional service even after falling down. Right? Such a person is accepted as saintly. Not everyone who does mistake and say sorry and then he goes and he does the same thing. No, we don't accept those kind of people. But a person who is genuinely repenting and who is genuinely engaged in devotional service very steadily and consistently, that is a person we accept. That is a person Krishna is telling. He's Sudvacharo. He's saintly among those people. Right? So this verse is definitely not a license to make mistakes. But here also Lord shows how much he loves us, how much he's ready to excuse us. Yeah. So mantra 18. Here, the Jiva is praying, O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, I offer you obeisances, falling down on ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions of my past sins, that there will be no hindrance to my progress. So some of you have composed, please lead me in the right path, right, in your prayers. So what is here? The Jiva is surrendering. The Jiva is surrendering and he's saying that, you protect me. Out of the 8.4 million species, I got this human form of life. But because of my past habits, I'm not able to fix upon it. And then everyone is given a chance. So 641 and 42, when a yogi who is on the path of on the Ashtanga Yoga process, he was almost to the reach, but then he has fallen down or he was swayed away. He's called Yoga Brashta, right? Even those people can correct themselves and they're given a chance. How are they given a chance? Either they get a birth in very rich families or they take birth in the families of Vaishnavas, right? So that their Krishna consciousness can be revived. Now, how is the Lord omnipotent here? Because he's guiding, as an omnipotent guide, he's guiding the jiva again and again. He's inspiring him. He's inspiring him to rectify his mistakes. And he's inspiring him to surrender to the Lord. So that is what I wrote in this one. So, yeah, these purports are very, very straightforward. So I just made just a PowerPoint. Some main points. Yeah. So these are the points from verse 18 also, like how we have to take always shelter of the Sadhu Guru Shastra. And from the Lord and him, from the Lord from within, is also guiding us. Now, then Prabhupada also quotes these following 4 verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, someone can read the first verse from the screen. Yes, Shubham Prabhu.
Mataji, can I?
Yes, please.
Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanse desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in the classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of the nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes happy, becomes completely happy. Thus, established in the mode of unannoyed goodness, the man whose mind has been and lived by the contact of devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association.
Thank you, Prabhu, for reading out. Yeah, so Prabhupada, at the end of the 18th purport, 18th verse purport, he's quoting from the Srimad Bhagavatam. What is our formula to achieve the Lord's, get out of this material world and how to achieve Lord's association? So what is the first thing? He's recommended that we have to develop an urge to hear his messages, right? When we hear, it cleanses our material enjoyment, our tendencies to materially enjoying, that propensity from our hearts. Krishna will personally cleanse it. And what is the second thing? What is the second formula? He is asking us to serve book Bhagavat and devotee Bhagavat. And again, by engaging in the service of the book Bhagavat and devotee Bhagavat, everything that is troublesome to our heart is destroyed. And along with that, there is a loving devotional service is established in our hearts. And with that loving devotional service established in our heart, we will be able to overcome passion and ignorance. And what are the symptoms of passion and ignorance? Lust, desire, hankering, they all will be disappeared. Then we will be established in pure sattva, that is in goodness. And when someone is situated in Suddha Sattva, he will be completely enlivened with the devotional service to the Lord. And he will be liberated from the material association. Even in this lifetime, even in being in the material body itself, you can experience that liberation from the material association. What is this called? Jivan Muktas. You are in this body, but still the material nature is not effective on you. This is also the example of the person in Krishna consciousness from chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. Action in Krishna consciousness. chapter 5, right? So here the person was described how he eats, how he sleeps, and he's experiencing already Krishna consciousness because he's fully established. He didn't leave the body. But at the same time, along with the actions carried with the body, he's still feeling liberated from the material association. So this is our formula to apply, to practice. Now we'll see the concluding words. Can anyone read? Daya Mataji.
Concluding words and excerpt taken from back cover of Sri Isopanisad book as translated and explained by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Sanskrit word Sri Isopanishad means the knowledge that brings one nearer to the Supreme Person Krishna. As such, Sri Isopanishad directly encounter the teaching of modern science, which say at the root of existence lies not a person but merely abstract laws governing the chance collision of subatomic particles in the vast void of time and space. Individually, we rebel at the proposal that we can be analyzed into lifeless laws and particles. We feel that personality is the solid foundation and unifying principle of our existence. That intuition is correct, says the Vedic philosophy of ancient India, which loudly proclaimed the primacy of personality in every sphere of life and knowledge. And the essential Vedic teaching on the universal nature of personality are summarized in Sri Isha Upanishad, the foremost of 108 Upanishad.
Thank you, Daya Mataji. So what I want you to do is now for last few classes, we were always, meditating on the purpose of coming and reading, studying the Sri Isopanishad. Now, what I want you to do is reflect how much you were able to achieve your purpose, right? What are some of the points in your purpose you have achieved? Maybe you can think, can take 5 minutes, write down on a piece of paper or on the computer, and you can share. Are we ready to share? You ready? Yes. Because we have a quiz to play as well. More exciting. Now you will be teaching me. Yeah. I have prepared like 30 questions for quiz. Yeah. So who is going to share? Shubham Prabhu. Yes, please share, Prabhu. Thank you. You're muted again. Yeah. Thank you.
Mataji, one of the principle that I'm trying to follow and trying to like understand is in my life is the Ishavasana principle, that everything actually is belonging to the Lord and He's controlling it. So rather than like whatever maybe the circumstances, He's actually in control, and I'm not in control actually. What I can do is I just can desire, and based upon my karmas, maybe or may I get, like, it's not certain on also. So even the even the hard times, if I'm facing, that is also by the mercy, that I can understand, like that is also like a mercy from the Lord, because He's controlling everything. So He's trying to teach me, like, uh, through these hard times, like, this is not the place for you
Mm.
to be in.
Right.
You do not belong here, you belong with me. So
Right.
come to me. And other principle, like other thing that I learned from Isopanisad, and trying, and I will try, that is how to prayer actually. How should one prayer?
Yeah.
What all we can include in our prayers.
Yes.
As of now, these are the two things that I am like, that I'm trying to add in my life.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. It's very nice. There, Mataji.
Mataji, I have taken two lines from I was reading tomorrow morning I was reading that this is a point, something which I get really this is something I want to achieve. That is the proportion of activities for maintenance of the body decrease, however, in proportion to the increase in devotional service. Like if we are said we used to say, I am very attached to this thing, I am very attached to this thing. So if I improve my devotional service, then that detachment will continue, automatically will decrease. Like it is inverse proportion. I get like this. If I am good in my devotional service, then detachment will follow its way. So I
Right.
have to achieve this thing, because
Right.
detachment is something which is very difficult.
Mm.
So I used to say myself, you have to improve your devotional service, you have to improve your devotional service. And I personally has got experience of these things too. That's why this is a point which I used to I want to achieve it more and more in my life.
Very nice. Thank you. Yes. Increasing more in our quota of devotional service. Yeah, very nice. Pandita Gadadhar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Mataji, I really want to take away particularly from the shlok number 2, which is actually the art of living. And herein it's been mentioned in the book that a humble God-centric life is more valuable than a full of source of a life dedicated to godless altruism or socialism. So this is one of the points which is very really striking to me. And instead of hankering for multiple things, one should be satisfied and lead a very peaceful and humble life so that it pleases Krishna. This is the takeaway which I want to say.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Karunamai Chitralekha Mataji.
Thank you so much, Vijay. Mataji, firstly, my purpose to read this speech information was to please my spiritual master and for progress and for the advancement of my own bhakti. So by reading this, I got understood that how I can balance my spiritual duties and material duties. And we have to read Vidya, also we have to get the knowledge of Vidya and Avidya both, and we have to balance it. And secondly, the Isha Vasham principle, like everything belongs to Krishna, and we have to enjoy what is in our quota, and whatever we have to serve. We have to engage it in the service of Krishna. And secondly, I want to read Isopanisad for my teaching purposes. So by reading this book, I got so many knowledge. Many of my basic concepts got clear, and also I got to read so many impersonation Mayavadis, and they usually they refer Upanishads and Vedas. Like in this Veda, it is written this. So now I can give them each of the reference of each of that yes, Krishna has a form and he is person.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. Vaibhavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I am quite influenced by the mantra 3 because there is this question in the in the purport that why is man given a better life than of a swine and other animals? If we understand this, then we'll be more consistent with our practices, that why we have been given this life as a human. If we understand the importance of a human life, then there will be like very few chances of falling. We'll be more grateful to Krishna, to Lord, that you have given us this body so that we can serve you and we can reach you through the devotional practices, because in no other form of life we can pray you the way we can pray you in human body. So we should be grateful to him. And the same thing I can relate from the mantra 17, that it gives us a way uh, with which we can pray, like we can practice. We don't know how to pray, right? Abhi to we don't know. So it helps me. It gives me a way through which we can pray him rightly, and through which we can be more grateful to him and be more conscious about our practices. So that's all my learning, I believe.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Jyoti Mataji.
Mataji, after attending the Bhagavad Gita classes, after that attending this class, it helped a lot in deepening the concepts, because once when we listen to those in Bhagavad Gita and again we listen in Isopanisad, so the concept it became very clear. And second, the concept of impersonalism became very clear in my mind after attending it, and that art and how to pray, how to structurally pray, this thing was very inspiring for me. So these two things helped me a lot.
Krishna Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Well, there are so many points. For my personal benefit, I think I have to again and again start reading Isopanisad, because you have taught us in a very nice way. But I think after some time, there is a chance that I might forget all this. So I will try to make a habit of at least reading one shloka daily, so that the whatever we have learned, it is in our minds. So my personal
I
benefit,
just want to add here, my teacher Adipurusha Prabhu, he was mentioning that if you read all the 18 verses every day, with the translations. After some time, you will be so much, you remember everything that is happening in the 18 verses. So like he attended Isopanisad from different teachers, but when he put this into practice, it helped him a lot. Yeah,
It's
that's a
just
nice
like
thing.
our national prayers, which we used to do in our school time.
Mm.
So personally, I have to do I have to do balance between Vidya and Avidya. So Avidya, I know it's not good, but it was for very surprising to me that Vidya is also not good. So I have to understand that and use in my life also how to balance Vidya and Avidya. Then prayers to Lord, how prayers to Lord are beneficial for one's own betterment. And for the preaching purpose, living in harmony with God is one point I can use. Then accepting only your designated quota, because people are they are not happy. So many people, they are counseling, so they ask, I'm not getting promotion. This is not there. That is not there. So at least uh, the satisfaction level has to be set, that although you can work hard to get anything, but the designated quota is also there. So we should keep remembering. So this one point is very good for the preaching purpose. And then Ishavasya principle is also good. Overall, Ishopanishad is not just reading or understanding, it has to be practically applied in our daily lives. So it is, I think these are the things we can imbibe in our daily life, and others also can do betterment from this.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Also, Prabhupada's, the 50% unfinished, Prabhupada said that my 50% unfinished. He wanted many farm communities to be established. What is this farm communities living? It is actually living in harmony with the Lord, right? This is actually, to teach people how to live simple, applying the Ishavasya principle. That's why we also need to support these farm communities, you know. Like I heard from a devotee here in the lecture that Prabhupada said, either you have to be a preacher or either you have to live on a farm. So only two things. So we are either living by an example, or we are preaching Krishna consciousness very vigorously. If we are in the city, we have to vigorously preach. So this is a important lesson we learn. So we'll take 5 minutes break, and then we'll come back and do a quick quiz and then close. Okay? Okay, so everyone is back. So now what I want you to do is all of you unmute yourself. There is no raising of hands. Okay, I want everyone to unmute yourself, no raising of hands. So we'll see. I have around 25 questions, I suppose. Yeah. So let's pick up. And whoever wins Mataji, Karunamai Mataji, you have to deliver sweets to them. It's yours. Mahaprasad for them. Okay. It's in your account. Okay. Who can recite invocation mantra?
पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते.
Very nice. Meaning of word Veda?
Which has been spoken by Lord.
Okay, spoken by Lord. Okay, what is given in the introduction? The first opening introduction?
Veda means knowledge.
Yeah,
It
Vedas
talks
means
about
knowledge,
Vedas.
and then you can add spoken by the Lord. Okay, good. 4 defects of the conditioned soul.
Illusion. All
Imperfect senses.
Okay,
cheating,
Propensity
propensity,
to
making
cheat.
mistakes, illusions, and
Illusion.
Commit mistakes.
to commit mistakes, to be illusion, imperfect senses, and what is the other one?
always illusioned.
No, there's another one.
Cheating propensity.
Making mistakes.
Cheating propensity.
Cheating propensity.
Cheating propensity.
Right. List 3 pramanas of acquiring knowledge.
Shabd Praman,
Anuman Praman.
and
Pratyaksha,
Anuman
Shabd,
Praman, Shabd.
Anuman.
Pratyaksh Praman, Anuman Praman, and Shabd Praman.
Okay. Why Shabda Praman is superior?
Because it is coming through parampara.
Right. No, and yeah, it is coming through the parampara. Can you list 2 systems of knowledge in the material world?
Inductive knowledge and
Inductive.
Inductive and
Aroho and Avroho
deductive.
Pantha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right.
Up or downward. Yes.
What are the qualifications of guru?
one who delivers
There are 2.
knowledge as it is.
He should have heard scriptures through his guru and through parampara.
Okay.
he must be from a bona fide, he must be coming from a bona fide parampara.
Right. So, meaning of Ishavasha? Mataji, unmute yourself. There's no one muted here.
Okay.
Okay.
Everything is controlled by the
Lord.
Lord.
Controlled by the Lord.
Paranapara Shakti, what does it mean? What is Para Shakti?
Inferior and superior
And
energy.
inferior.
Internal and external energy.
Inferior is the
Inferior and
material
superior
one,
energy.
and para is the superior one,
Superior and inferior.
which includes us.
Okay.
Jiva and soul.
Prabhupada talks about Bhagavad communism. How do we establish Bhagavad communism? What is Bhagavad communism? One. Okay, hint. This is related to mantra 1. What are we talking? The principle of mantra 1 is what?
Who is the ultimate controller and proprietor?
So it's the
Uh,
Ishavasha principle.
Complete whole.
Yeah. So when Ishavasha principle is applied, that is nothing but the Bhagavad communism. Right? Yeah. Now, who can recite mantra 1? Go ahead, Mataji.
माताजी देख के.
कोई बात नहीं, देख के बताओ, कोई टेंशन नहीं.
Okay. ईश्वस्यम् इदं सर्वं यत् किंच जगत्यं जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुजिता मा गिरधः कस्य स्वित् दानम्.
Very nice. Can you define karma? What is karma?
Karma, like action influenced by time and modes of nature.
No.
Activities which
Which
are
have fruitive
prescribed by the Shastras are
Right.
called karmas.
Karmas, yeah. What is vikarma?
Which are not activities which are not
criminal
prescribed by the
activity.
Shastras are the karmas.
Forbidden, actually.
Forbidden. Yeah.
Yeah, right. What is akarma?
For pleasure of Krishna.
Activities described in the
Which
Shastra.
do not give any reactions.
Reaction, basically.
Okay. What is the English meaning of atmaha?
Soul killer.
Soul killer.
Yeah.
Killer of the soul.
Killer of the soul, yeah. Sura and asura. Can you define what is sura and what is asura?
Suras are the basically worshippers of the Vishnu,
Devotional path and
and
Asura.
Suras are who are not the worshippers of the Vishnu.
Right. Who can tell the analogy of the human life? Human life is compared to the boat. You can explain that analogy?
Is
Human
compare
body.
with is.
Human body is like a boat. You remember that analogy?
A solid boat designed specifically to cross the material ocean.
Right. But what is the human body? Human body is compared to the boat. And who else? What all is included in the boat?
The ocean is material world.
Human body is
Solid boat is human
The
body.
Vedic scriptures
Right.
and the acharyas
Boatman,
are
expert
compared to
boatmen and
boatmen.
acharyas.
Mhm.
Scriptures are favorable winds.
Right.
Self-realization is the path, and returning back to spiritual world is destination.
Right. Yes. Now, from mantra 4, you can refer to your books. What are the 8 features of the absolute truth listed in mantra 4? You remember we were discussing the 8 features.
He's fixed in his abode.
Sorry.
He's in his abode,
Mhm.
and he's
Although
he's the
he's in
one
one
person-
place, but
God is fastest,
Fastest, right?
fearless,
Fearless.
no one is equal. That no one is equal to
Inconceivable.
him, and he has a full form of full of knowledge.
Mhm.
Far and very near.
Mhm.
omniscient, omnipresent,
Okay.
omnipotent,
Mhm.
He's all pervading.
All pervading, that is omnipresent, right? Yeah, all pervading is omnipresent. Yeah.
Controllers
all
of the
actions.
demigod.
Swifter than the mind.
Okay.
Faster than the mind.
So I can type it for you. Okay. In the meantime, let me ask you another question. Okay. What is Antaryami?
He is
One
within
who knows
everything and everything, and
Paramatma,
who knows in and out.
Okay, who knows in and out. Okay. What is the meaning of Tadure Tadve Antike? This is in the next
he's
verse.
far away and he is near.
Ah, very nice.
We
Ekatvam Anupashyata means?
control.
one who is
One who
observing,
sees through authority. One who sees through authority.
Okay. And Apapa Suddha means?
Mataji, can you repeat please?
Suddham Apapa Vidam, sorry. Suddham Apapa Vidam.
Pure and uncontaminated.
Pure
Yes,
and
antiseptic, something antiseptic side like that.
Yes.
yeah, prophylactic.
Antiseptic, prophylactic.
Yeah, prophylactic. Because Prabhupada is, he served in the pharmacy, so he quotes the same, like, the ointments have that nature of being antiseptic. Okay. Can you cite an analogy that defines qualitatively one and quantitatively different?
Ocean
Ocean
water
and
and a
salt,
drop of
salt,
ocean.
salt
Not in
and
the ocean.
Salt and
Salt.
ocean,
Yes.
and then any other?
Yes.
One more.
Threads and the like sweater.
No. No. That was not
sun,
the
sun
that
and
was not
sunrise.
that was not the analogy Prabhupada gave.
Is it
Uh,
about a high
Fire
court?
and the sparks.
Salt and ocean का है.
Fire and the sparks, the water in the
Yes,
ocean
fire.
and the lava, and then the sun,
Mataji, sun and
and
rays.
the sun rays. Yeah.
Fire and sparks.
Yeah. How is Lord unembodied? How is Lord unembodied? How do we know that the Lord is not embodied?
Because there is no difference between his body and soul.
Yeah, but how do you define, how do you tell, through the
He's
month?
all pervading. He's all pervading. He's not embodied.
He is not affected by modes of nature.
Okay. How is he not embodied? Also means that he doesn't have any veins. You remember?
He doesn't have material body.
He doesn't have material body. He doesn't have any veins, and then he's sukram, omnipotent. He can do anything, any activity with his body. Okay?
Multifunctioning organelle.
Yes. Hiranyakashipu means what?
Bed of
Cunning.
gold.
Like
Who
Huh?
Yes.
in
desires
gold.
Bed of gold,
Materially advanced. Bed of gold.
Bed
basically.
of gold. No, he's not bed of gold. He's interested in bed.
Woman,
Is
woman,
cunning.
Understood.
woman
desires
plus,
Woman
woman
and
plus
couple with
money.
gold.
Woman plus money.
Yeah.
Where bed
He's
of gold is
interested in-
women and he is the asura.
Yeah.
Materially
Sorry.
advanced.
Hiranyakashipu, he desires for the bed of gold.
Yeah. So that means he's interested in women and gold.
Yes.
Okay.
So the bed of gold means women and gold.
Yeah, women and gold. Yeah. Okay. Miseries of the material world serve indirectly to remind us of what?
That
Reminds
we,
of us
That we
of
do not belong here.
that we have to get out of these
incompatibility with the dead
Go
matter.
back to Godhead.
Right. No, it reminds us that, we are incompatible with the matter. Very nice.
Yes.
What are the results of Vidya and Avidya?
Material destruction.
That is better.
And
Avidya.
yes.
Vidya
Avidya
as well.
and a misdirected Vidya will also lead us into darker.
Mm. And what is Sambhuti and Asambhuti?
Sambhuti is Sambhuti is demigod worshipping demigods, and Asambhuti is worshipping the impersonal feature of the Lord.
No.
Sambhuti means the
Sambhuti is
absolute
worshipping
personality of
Sambhuti
Godhead, and Asambhuti means who are not directly referent, like who are not independent existence with the
Yeah.
supreme personality of Godhead.
So in Asambhuti comes both demigod worship and
Demigods.
impersonal worship. But Sambhuti means worship of the Supreme Lord. Who can explain the analogy of cobra and the jewel on the cobra?
If we know that, okay, so the cobra is very poisonous, but in case if we know that the cobra has a jewel on his head, so we likely to forget about the poison nature of cobra, and we tend to have that jewel from him. So
Right.
that's something like I remember.
So, like, how is this
Mataji,
analogy?
may I?
Yes.
The jewel on the cobra's head is more dangerous than a normal cobra, because to see a normal cobra, we see, okay, it's a cobra, but we will let him go, or we will fly from there. But if we see a cobra with a jewel
Jewel.
on his head, we won't go from there. We will use some hook or crook, or to beat him, or to get the money from him. Or
So
maybe
how
that is more dangerous.
do you apply in the terms of Isopanisad mantras? How do you use this analogy? Where did Prabhupada use this analogy? Which mantra?
Vidya and Avidya.
Vidya and Avidya, right? Someone posing themselves that they're very learned.
Mantra
Very
9.
learned.
Yeah, they do more destruction than the people who are ignorant, right? Ignorant people don't do so much destruction, but people who are in the so-called knowledge, they do more destruction. And give an analogy of Srila Prabhupada explaining that all paths do not lead to the same destination.
the ticket, one
If you
purchase
buy
a
a ticket of
for
Mumbai, you can't go to
Kolkata.
Kolkata.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you buy ticket to one place, but you cannot go to the other destination. Yeah, very nice. That's it. Some of the questions were from your own question bank itself. Some questions I got it from my own. But thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come and share and learn together. And you all are like different facets of the diamond. You all contributed to my Krishna consciousness as well. So thank you. And please do forgive me for all my shortcomings. Definitely, I have exhibited so many. And I'm really grateful to Rohini Temple and Rasala Prabhu for giving me this opportunity, putting faith in me. So yeah, all the very best. And please give your blessings so that I can also apply these teachings of Isopanisad and serve Srila Prabhupada. Jai Mataji, you wanted to...
Mataji, I have question. Is there any difference between like the subject matter we cover in Bhagavad Gita and in Isopanishad? Because subject matter is similar.
Right.
The way it described is different. I feel like this.
Yes.
So is there any different point in Isopanishad which is not in Bhagavad Gita?
No.
Okay.
Bhagavad Gita is more
In detail.
in detail, actually. Yeah. No.
And
But
Mataji, I want to say one more thing. I really like you. I don't know why, but I really like you.
thank you, Mataji. So please pray for me
I
and
thank
bless
you.
me. So please pray for me and bless me that, I will also become a nice devotee like you. Thank you. And I'm very inspired by your preaching, that you're preaching to kids in Pakistan. And I'm sure it's not an easy situation.
Mataji, I need a lot of prayers because we are planning so many things right now. Especially we used to do preaching in our institute. The institute in which we are studying, and we used to do preaching in that. Like I am in a medical field. So there the classmate and the university mates, those people we used to preach online and physically. That's all.
It reminds me that, one of the sharing of a Prabhupada's disciple, he was sharing that, Prabhupada said that if anyone preaches in the Muslim countries, he will actually take dust from those devotees, So they're very, very dear, very, very valuable because, it's not so easy situation. Because, but may Lord give you all strength and protection. Thank you. So we'll close here. Thank you again. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
Jai.
Thank you so much,
Kasturika
Mataji.
Mataji ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Pranam.